Welcome everybody to Rolling Cowan Stadium in Carina as the Southern District's Carina League's club Lady Spartans host the Townsville Flames in a QBL Game of the Week, a grand final rematch presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, Basketball Queensland, Australian Sports Network, and Stream Team Australia. I'm John Guarna, joined today by Regan Baker. Regan, really exciting matchup we have here. Grand final rematch. The Spartans went up to Townsville, got that win last year. They picked up their second championship in a row, and they're rolling throughout the start of this season, coming into today undefeated to take on a seventh-place Townsville Flames team at 3-2.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's two teams we haven't seen in the QBL League this year so far either. So it's going to be a really exciting matchup. Townsville obviously not having the same start to the season this year that they did last year, but they've still got some amazing players out on the floor, and they're really going to bring it to this Southern Districts team. And it's going to be a great matchup on the floor. Both teams are going to go pumping, but it's hard to look past Southern District Spartans at the moment with their, with their undefeated streak into the season so far.
It's definitely hard to look past them, the defending champion, two-time defending champions, undefeated at this point. I was doing my research, and then they just announced the starting lineups, the lineups for both teams, and we see the return of Beck Stevens to the Lady Spartans team. That's just another huge weapon. She was a really key contributor and has been a key contributor to the success the Spartans have had over the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they really do have such a strong lineup coming into the game, and there's a reason why they've gone undefeated so far in the QBL 2019 season. And, the addition of Beck coming back into the team as well is just another huge step forward for the Southern District's Lady Spartans. So, look, they're going to be a tough team to come up against for the Townsville Flames in the game this afternoon. But look, it really is anyone's game. Townsville maybe in 7th place, but they've got a lineup, and they're going to really bring it to this Spartans team.
And they're going to be looking to bounce back. They played last night, did the Townsville Heat. They went down to North Gold Coast. They lost that game 83-60, a really tough loss for Townsville, so you certainly expect them to look to bounce back. They struggled from the field in that game, only shooting 31% from the field. They were led by Michaela Cox with 13 points. Courtney Perry also had 13 points and 9 rebounds. How about Alicia Froling? 8 points, 18 rebounds, 6 of them offensive. I think you got to expect Townsville to try and look inside, and they do have a significant size advantage, although last night they were outscored in the paint 48-28 versus North Gold Coast. So who knows what's going to happen. All I can guarantee you guys watching is that this is going to be an exciting game. If you are watching, let us know in the YouTube comments or on Facebook, wherever, and we'll make sure that we get you a shout out. We're about 8 seconds away from the tip here, Regan. I know you don't like to do predictions or tips, but what do you expect to see from these guys?
Look, I think Spartans definitely have the advantage coming into this game as well. As you said, Townsville going down last night to North Gold Coast. Look, I think Spartans has the advantage, but in saying that, if Townsville comes out, realistically, if they can shut down Lee Scott and reduce some of the scoring, she comes into tonight's game averaging 26 points, which I haven't done enough research to know, but it's got to be one of the leading point scorers in the entire league. So if they can shut Lee Scott down a little bit, it is going to be a close one, but I do believe that Spartans will come out with a win in the end.
All right, we're just about to get set for the opening tip. Like we said, let us know if you are watching the game. Drop a comment in the YouTube channel or on Facebook. Let us know you're watching. We'll make sure we get you a shout out. But the teams are hitting the court for the start of this game. It is the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans hosting the Townsville Flames here at Rolling Cowan Stadium in Carina, my hometown as well. Regan? Just down the road, hey?
Yeah, you got it nice and easy. You had a nice little drive this morning, all 5 minutes of it.
Walked down here, walked back with all the gear, no worries. Looks like Leah Scott and Froling are going to get set to tip here. Townsville certainly going to look to bounce back after that big loss last night. They would be disappointed with that result. Both teams, have a lot of the same players from last season, but also a lot of new faces. And immediately Townsville goes inside, and Perry creates the first points of the game with a nice turnaround layup.
Yeah, definitely a really great start for the Townsville Flames. They're getting some easy points straight off the go. And like you said, John, it is two very similar teams to what we saw last year in the QBL Grand Final Series. There's a nice little bucket on the inside there. But one of the big changes for the Townsville Flames, obviously, the loss of Mila Goodchild. I'm thinking of her older sister. As she went over into college and has had an absolutely stellar season over in college, Division I first year. So big blow there to Townsville with Mila not coming back into the QBL this year, but still some amazing players out on the floor.
They have 4-2 the lead here early for Townsville. They started off pretty well, trading buckets to start the game here, both teams. Good defense there by Perry. Good defense again. Forces a turnover. Cox kicks it ahead for Brennan. Skips it ahead. It's just too far ahead for Ainsley Walsh. It's a wasted opportunity there for Townsville. You don't want to waste too many of those versus the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, definitely not. And, turnovers is something we've commented on quite a few times throughout the 2019 season, Johnny. And, those kind of easy turnovers there where you've got the straight layup to the basket, they really do hurt you. It may not hurt now when it's 4-2, but down the track, those really start to add up.
Captain Carly Curry back also for the Spartans. Really looking to get it inside for Scott. Scott, one-on-one, dribbles into a double team. She's blocked. Good defense there again by Townsville. Really forcing the Spartans into a couple late shot clock opportunities and a couple turnovers here on back-to-back possessions for the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, and it's good to see. It is good to see the Spartans, taking their time as well, moving the ball around and not having to rush and come inside. They really are spreading it out, but some great defense from Townsville early on to, draw out that shot clock and really force them to take that rush shot in the end. But I believe, the Spartans' offense is easily going to be able to overcome that coming into the later stages of the game.
We'll see the Spartans got a stop on that possession. Three-pointer is up and good for Odette Isaac. Bit sleep there on the transition defense for Townsville, and they pay for it. There's another turnover. Again, you see Townsville, a couple possessions in a row now, looking to push, trying to get a couple of easy buckets, just can't connect.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think a rushed game of basketball or a fast-paced game of basketball against this Southern District Lady Spartans team is the way to go either. They do have some amazing athletes out on the floor that are really quick on their feet, and trying to play quickly against Spartans probably works in their favor because realistically they do have such great defensive ability and they really can put that stop on, as we've seen in 2 possessions so far.
Townsville got another stop there, and good defense on Ajaparam Amar. Inside, Froling has Curry on her, goes right at the defense to lay it up and in. That's great recognition there from Townsville, and really good job finishing there from Froling. Skip pass. Curry, good movement here. Donnelly fires a jumper and swishes it. That's really great ball movement. The cross-court pass and the swing from the captain leads to an easy 2.
Yeah, again, districts really do have a great offensive movement, and they just know when to slow the ball down, take their time passing around the floor, and when it hits multiple sets of hand is when it's in the advantage of the Southern District Spartans.
Offensive foul called against Michaela Cox. She ran over Leah Scott. Leah Scott, we've seen her for a few years here in the QBL. Last 2 seasons playing at the University of Sunshine Coast RIP, making the move over to the Lady Spartans for 2019, and she's been excellent for them so far this season.
Yeah, it's been a really, really great move for Leah Scott. I mean, she's just done some amazing things with this team. She's fit in beautifully as well, and like I said, coming into tonight's game, averaging 26 points a game, so having a really stellar season so far.
Great finish there, really physical defense from Froling. Leah Scott wanted the foul as well. She didn't get it, but she got the bucket instead. Another turnover for Townsville. That's their 3rd turnover so far already in this one. Scott loses it out of bounds. She really likes that matchup with Froling. She's been aggressive on every possession she's had so far.
Yeah, definitely so, and that's just the way that Scott plays as well. Like from the game tape that we've watched on Huddle and that, Johnny, it's her game and what we've seen from last season as well. So it's good to see that she's kept that in her game, and it's part of the reason why she's done so well in the season this year. Great
finish inside there from Walsh. It's a 9-8 lead for the Lady Spartans. Again, another turnover here from Spartans. Coach Rebecca Lewis didn't like the call, neither did Leah Scott. Referees, I don't know, Jackie Dover. Referee Jackie Dover just said, guys, settle down, calm down. It's the call.
Decision's
We're
been
not
made.
changing. Referees this afternoon, the crew chief is Jackie Dover and the umpire Jake Porter. 4 on the shot clock. Cox has to fire a 3. It's off the front of the rim. Good rebound there from Param Amar. Good cross-court pass and nice ball movement. I really love watching this Spartans offense run because they're so patient, they're so efficient. They don't really force anything. Aja Parham Amar tips it out of bounds. First substitution of the afternoon. Checking in for Townsville, Harriet Carey. Lisa Brennan going to get a breather, the captain for Townsville. 9-8, 1-point lead for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans over the Townsville Flames. Perry spins to the left again, finishes plus the foul. That's a really nice play there from Courtney Perry. Finishing through a triple team, got through the contact, lays it up and in.
Yeah, and really great spin move as well. It was just good recognition. Noticed that the defensive player wasn't set, wasn't in the right spot, spun around, and great strong finish to the basket as well to go to the line for the extra.
And I must admit, I didn't get to see the game versus North Gold Coast last night, but really surprised me to see the Townsville Flames get outscored by 20 points in the paint. When you have players like Froling and Perry for Townsville, I was really shocked when I looked at that statistic.
Yeah, so was I, to be honest, Johnny. Well, we've seen a lot of Alicia Froling throughout the years, not only in the QBL, but personally in local league and that as well. And yeah, she is such a big presence inside the keyway. So to not, to be outscored by that much in the paint really is a big surprise.
Another great extra pass from Curry leads to another Isaac three-pointer. Perry again against Scott, misses this time. But just watch this Lady Spartans offense run as we see Nat Taylor on the court for the Lady Spartans. Just watch how patient they are. They really recognize mismatches, and they attack those mismatches. It's a really fun offense to watch if you're a basketball fan.
Yeah, it really is. Like, they're just such a basketball intelligence team, and the way that they move the ball around the floor, and you just always got recognition of where other players are. It is really, really nice to see, and there is a lot that the junior players out there could learn from this Lady Spartans team because their offense is probably one of the best in the league, and it's why they've gone back-to-back championships over the last 2 years.
And we're not talking just women's hoops. We're talking basketball in general. I mean, I think a lot of men's teams could watch this and learn a lot as well. Foul called there on Froling. Another offensive foul, her first personal, second team foul of the quarter. 4:12 left in this one. We're tied at 11.
It's good to see the hustle and the aggression. It's unfortunate that she picked up the offensive foul on that occasion, but the hustle, the drive to follow after the ball and to chase it down is really good from Froling to see as well because, this Townsville team is going to need to be aggressive in the game if they're going to want to beat this Lady Spartans team. So it's good early on aggression there from Froling.
Froling just got called for her second personal, holding on and pulling onto the arm of Leah Scott. Referee Jackie Dover right there on the baseline to get that one. That's Froling's second personal. It's a tough matchup for Froling. And you got to think the Lady Spartans are going to recognize that. And then Ainsley Walsh gets called for the hold on Aja Paramamar. Tightening things up here. Another warning given to the Townsville Flames. In particular, I think Alicia Froling got that warning, yeah. And she's going to get a breather. Lisa Brennan going to check back in for Froling. Parham short on the layup attempt, gets her rebound, misses that one again, tips it out of bounds. Aja Parham Amar, very aggressive, very capable in the block. She just short-armed him a couple of those there. Yeah,
definitely. Very aggressive player, Aja Parham Amar as well. Obviously did a really great job last season as well in QBL 2018. Since been married, obviously, now with the Parham Amar to her name. But she was a beautiful player to watch last year. She just had such a great 2018 season. So really good to see that aggression back out on the floor here in 2019.
Yeah, Tommy Amar in the crowd to support his wife. I'll give a shout out to Tommy. Tried to get him on the mic. He was having none of it. Wants to enjoy his wife's game. Maybe we could coerce him to join us for the men's. Curry gets inside, flips one up. That's short. It's tipped around. Brennan comes down with it. And then there's a foul. Carly Curry trying to pressure the ball. Picks up her first personal, the second one against the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. Walsh going to get a breather. Checking in for Walsh, Elise Kiplocks. 13-11. 2-point lead for Townsville, approaching the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Great ball movement there from Townsville. Carey hits the fadeaway along the baseline. The Lady Spartans pushing it up court. Parham Marr running the point. Leah Scott taking a few dribbles, goes inside for Parham. Good ball movement again. Isaac, another three-point attempt. That's off the back of the rim. Here comes Michaela Cox in transition. Pass too strong. Brennan can't handle it. Here comes Leah Scott. Looking to go full court. Euros around. Flips one up and in. Wrong foot layup, but it works.
A beautiful finish as well. It didn't look good from what I was watching on the screen here, Johnny, but what a great finish there from Scott.
2-point lead for Townsville. 2:10 left in the quarter as Cox gets inside, stops, pops, and misses. Parham Marr with the rebound. Good hands there from Kiplocks, tips it out of bounds. Subs, and here's the return of Rebecca Haynes. Checking in for Odette Isaac. Rebecca Haynes, new mom, I believe. So congratulations to Beck, and good to see her back on the court. She's one of my favorite players in all of the QBL.
Yeah, she's been around for many years, Johnny, and always been a really, really strong player and just such a great personality and person out on the floor as well. So, yeah, really exciting new mum. Great to see her back on the floor as well because it can't always be easy. You know, we were commenting last week as well on a similar thing. It's a big thing to come back to play ball after having a child. So, great to see her back out here.
Curry steals it and leads to an easy layup for Leah Scott. There's a timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Game's tied at 15, a minute 36 left to go in the first quarter of your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. We're tied at 15 between the Townsville Flames and the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. Really great action. I like that timeout there from head coach Luke Brennan trying to settle his team down. Getting a bit sloppy defensively. Looking for Perry. It's not there. Brennan has it with 6 on the shot clock. Going to work against Nat Taylor. Flips it up. Good block there from Beck Stevens. And again, we said it just before the break, but such a versatile player, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and that was just a great defensive read as well. You know, she knew exactly what Brennan was going to do. There's only a short amount of time on the shot clock. She was going to drive. She was going to go by herself. Great read from Haynes and a great execution. And
poor recognition there from Kiplocks. Only had 3 seconds to go on the shot clock, so that's a turnover for Townsville. It's the 6th turnover of the quarter for the Flames.
Yeah, not a great position to be in. 6 turnovers in 9 minutes of basketball is not a good position to be in, and especially not when you're coming up against a team like the Southern District Spartans.
Stevens misses it. Leah Scott comes up with the steal, shoots from the ground, and gets it to fall. How about Leah Scott getting down to create the steal and finishing from the floor?
Yeah, definitely not something you see every day, but again, it just goes to show the versatility of Scott and, why she is one of the top point scorers in QBL 2019.
Great pass there from Perry, and Kiplocks drains the jumper. Tied at 17 now. Got about 30 seconds to go in the first. Parmamar fires a three. Hits nothing but the bottom of the net. It's a 3-point lead for the Lady Spartans, and Townsville can hold for the final shot of the quarter. The shot clock's turned off. Kayla Cox has it at about half court, looking to go one-on-one with Curry. Doesn't use the screen. She reverses it. Perry has it stripped, recovers, and Townsville will not get a shot off. Really aggressive defense there to finish the quarter for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. And at the first quarter break, Regan, 3-point lead for the Lady Spartans. It was a really great first quarter of action for both teams.
Yeah, it really was. It was great played by both teams. And look, it may not be an insanely high-scoring affair. 2017, relatively average, but it doesn't reflect what we're seeing out on the floor. Both teams have gone aggressive into this game, and both teams doing a really, really good job as well. Townsville definitely surprising me with how they're playing at the moment. Turnovers creeping into their game, causing a few problems here and there, but they're making up for it with their offense and the way that they're finishing on the bucket. So, close game, both teams are still in it.
Yeah, the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans weathered the early storm. They go into the quarter time break up 3. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with some statistics in the second quarter of action. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, Australian Sports Network, Stream Team Australia, and of course, Basketball Queensland. Welcome back to Roland Cowan Stadium as the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans lead the Townsville Flames 20-17 heading into the start of the second quarter. Looking at some of the quarter time statistics, Leah Scott leads all scorers. She's got 10 points. Odette Isaac with 5 and Aja Parmamar with 3 for the Lady Spartans. Leading the way for the Townsville Flames is Perry. She's got 5, Walsh with 4, and Froling with 2. Townsville shot 57% from the field in that first quarter, while the Lady Spartans hit on 42. 7 turnovers for the Flames, only 4 for the Lady Spartans. So pretty even statistically, and it's only a 3-point game at the start of the second quarter. Nat Taylor fires a 3. She drains it. Lead pushed out to 6 now, and that's the third 3-pointer of the afternoon so far for the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, and great start to the quarter as well from the Lady Spartans as well. Take the lead up to 6 points. You know, just a little bit of a lack of defensive pressure there from Townsville, just making it a little bit easy for the Spartans to get that one there. They got a chance to retaliate with Brennan taking a big one as well, but that no good either.
That was a quick 3 for Townsville. Leah Scott grabs the rebound, and the Lady Spartans reset the offense. Good pass inside. Parmamar finishes plus the foul. It's a great pass there from Beck Stevens as well along the baseline. You don't see that one too often. Short corner right into underneath the basket. That's just, you know, a bit sloppy, but great advantage there for the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, and again, it just goes to show the strength of the Spartans offense as well, Johnny. Like, they're just such a disciplined team when it comes to the way they pass the ball and their recognition of players on the floor. So just great execution, great finish. Takes the lead out to 9.
Got to give a shout out to our guy, Dan George, tuning in on the live stream. We know Dan's been super busy. Looking forward to getting Thunder back on the mic with us at some point this season. If you guys are tuning in, definitely let us know in the YouTube comments or on Facebook. Let us know if you're watching, where you're watching from, and we'll make sure we get you a shout out as the Lady Spartans are now up by 9, 26-17. Taylor again fires from 3. That one's short. Froling grabs the rebound. Cox has it stolen by Carly Curry. It's the second time she's just ripped it out of the hands of the Townsville Flames. Mamar gets inside, lays it up, it's short. There's a foul called. That one's going to go against Froling. That's her third personal, the second team foul of the quarter.
Yeah, tough position for Froling to be in. One of the stronger players on the Townsville Flames side. 3 fouls. She's probably going to get checked out as we see it here now. So Froling going to have to sit on the bench for a little bit. Just didn't quite get into that position on time and drew that unfortunate, silly little foul.
Courtney Perry has to check back in, and Froling might not see Alicia Froling for a little while now with those 3 personals. Mamar hits them both. It's an 11-point lead now for the Lady Spartans. They've really started the quarter strong, Regan.
Yeah, and again, turnovers creeping into Townsville Flames game a little bit. And, you know, also the steals that the Southern District Spartans are getting off the inbound passes. So wreaking a little bit of havoc here for Townsville is the turnover steal count. But, again, it's just great offense from and defense from the Southern District Spartans in the way that they're capitalizing.
Fouls called against the Townsville captain, Lisa Brennan. I can smell a technical coming at any minute here. The Townsville team and the coaches are really getting frustrated with the way that the game's been refereed. Yeah,
look, and I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with the way the game's being officiated either, John. I think Townsville's just getting a little bit frustrated, and you know they wouldn't have come up against a team as strong as this Southern District Lady Spartans team this season so far. So, you know, they're doing some really great offensive moves, but they're just not getting the reward for it because they are coming up against such a strong defensive team. So, a little bit of frustration in there, but you know they just need to keep their cool and just keep playing through.
3 seconds called against Aja Paramamar. Good defense there from Townsville. And Regan, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The Lady Spartans play a really aggressive game, both offensively and defensively. They're quite physical too. They're not, you know, when you look at them size-wise, they're not the biggest team, but they get right up and in you. They play physical. They don't really give you a lot of breathing room, and that's frustrating for teams, especially when you're down 11.
Yeah, absolutely, and like especially when you're a stronger team, as what the Townsville Flames are as well. You know, to see your offensive plays just not paying off and not getting rewarded for amazing offenses like what we just saw there. Like that was a great shot opportunity. They're just not getting the reward because of that aggression and that fire from the Southern District Spartans. So it is hard and it is frustrating, especially when you're then getting the fouls down the other end as well, because the Lady Spartans just go at you. They are very, very aggressive offensively, and they are very good at drawing the fouls.
4 on the shot clock. Scott has to get a shot off, forces it up, and another tough bucket there from Leah Scott. She's really got it going on, and another turnover for Townsville, this time off the out-of-bounds pass.
I think that's
Taylor 3. It's good. The Lady Spartans are putting on a clinic here. They're up 16. And head coach Luke Brennan's forced to take a timeout. 6:53 to go in the half. And the Lady Spartans are dominating here to start the second quarter, Regan.
Yeah, they really are, John. They've just come out absolutely firing. Like I said, we came into to the quarter-time break. It was relatively evenly scored, but Southern Districts just have come out and they've just been aggressive off the get-go. We've seen 3 inbound steals where they've ended up converting into points. We've seen amazing offenses with some big 3-point drops. And Leah Scott, you know, I was excited coming into this game because I haven't seen her play in the QBL this year. And, you know, she's really delivering some of the shots that she's making, and just her offensive aggression is just something like we haven't seen in quite some time.
Yeah, and I think the change for me in the game has really been the Spartans defensively. I think they started a little loose defensively. Townsville was really able to establish themselves inside, and we really haven't seen much of that inside play from Townsville because the Spartans are doing a great job denying that, and that's forcing Townsville to struggle here. And it's a great timeout, but the Lady Spartans are really showing their class here. They are undefeated coming into the season, the two-time back-to-back champions, and they've been super, super impressive, especially in this second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to see why they have come into this game undefeated so far, because they are just such a disciplined team, and the way they're working as a team out on the floor as well. The minute they score a bucket, they don't switch off. They turn around straight away. They're there to defend the inbounds pass, and it's paying off. There is just no letting up from this Southern District Spartans team, and it's simple things as well. They're subbing through relatively quickly. They've got fresh legs coming onto the floor all the time, and they just don't let up. They're just so strong and aggressive and fast.
Well, let's see what adjustments Townsville can make during that timeout. It might just have to be to try and slow down the Spartans' momentum.
Yeah, if Townsville Flames can get a bucket or two quickly here now, they might just put a little bit of a stint in this atmosphere and the crowd and all that energy that the Spartans will have after that big turnaround coming in. It was 17-20 going into the quarter time break. It's now 17-33, so a 13-0 run for Spartans. So if Townsville can get a stop on that, they might stop some of this bleeding.
Again, poor communication though from Townsville. They force a shot clock violation, and that's just communication there. There is no one communicating, saying you have to get a shot off. It's poor recognition, and you got to give a little bit of that credit to the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans for the pressure.
Yeah, you really do. Again, we've said it a couple of times, Johnny. They are just such a strong defensive team, and they're hard to get around. They're quick on the feet. They're intelligent. They're in the lanes, and they're just making it really hard for Townsville to make an offense work.
Curry has it, goes to Scott, guarded by Perry. Good cut, Aja Parham. Amar lays it in. That's a nice dime there from Lee Scott. It's just fun. I mean, I sound like a broken record. I probably say the same thing every week, but gee, it's just beautiful to watch the Spartans play offense as Michaela Cox gets Townsville's first points of the quarter. It's a 3. They're down 15.
Hopefully that just injects a little bit of confidence back into the Flames team as well. Just to show they can get the points on the board still. They can beat the defense of the Spartans. And good stop there as well. Shot was just a little bit too strong. So if Flames can come out now and get another 3 ball or even an inside shot.
Walsh misses the 3. Offensive rebound. Gets back to Kyrie, who misses her 3-point attempt. Tipped around, and Perry recovers for Townsville. So a couple of friendly bounces for Townsville. Let's see if they can capitalize. Cox goes inside. Good pass. Walsh, corner 3 is up. That's short. That was a good look. Townsville just could not get it to fall. Under 5 minutes left in the first half. It's a 15-point lead for the Lady Spartans. Lee Scott with 5 on the shot clock, misses, tipped around. Who comes up with it? Aja Parham-Amar, 3-pointer by Nat Taylor, misses, and Carly Curry cannot chase it down, the captain, but gotta love the activity from Curry. Walsh has it on the wing. Now Perry. She stripped Curry. Great hands there from Carly Curry. Super active defensively. Odette Isaac open. It's a long 2. It's off the front of the rim. Ainsley Walsh loses it. Parham-Amar recovers. Lee Scott lays it in. Again, that's got to be the 5th time where Townsville's gotten a defensive rebound and had it stripped and stolen from them, and the Lady Spartans score right directly off of it.
Yeah, well, that'll be the 7th steal in the game so far for the Lady Spartans. So they are really doing a great job of being aggressive. And, the minute they score or the minute there's something that doesn't go right offensively for them, they're right there to get that steal back again. So doing a really, really great job of just getting every opportunity to keep the ball in their possession.
Parham-Amar misses short. Leah Scott nearly chases it down. She knocks it out of bounds, battling with Kiplocks for the ball. Checking in for Townsville, Shaylee Browning. First minute she'll see this afternoon. Carey's 3-pointer is strong. Perry grabs an offensive rebound. A lot of perimeter-oriented shots here for Townsville. Great block by Parham. Amar, great help defense there. And you can see, Townsville trying to be aggressive, but Spartans having none of it.
Yeah, again, it's just great recognition as well. The help was there, and yeah, Aja Parham Amar just ran behind one of her own players to get into that position to get the block. So it's just, as a whole, great recognition from the Lady Spartans and playing a really good, tough defensive game.
They're up 17 with about 3 minutes left in the first half. Dead Isaac has it, picks up her dribble, goes inside. Scott back to Isaac, jumper short. Nope, it bounces home. Looked like it was bouncing strong, but it fell. And there's another steal. Nat Taylor gets the steal. She'll fire from the elbow. That's no good. 39-20, Lady Spartans up by 19. Perry left hand, goes to the left and lays it in. Very aggressive play, and Coach Beck Lewis has seen enough. She's going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 2:28 to go in the first half of your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, Australian Sports Network, Stream Team Australia, and Basketball Queensland. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. Thank you to Stuart Allen for pointing out the fact that I'm calling Beck Haynes by the wrong name. So thanks, Stuart. Sorry for that. And, again, just apologize. Made a mistake, one of many I quite do regularly. So thanks for pointing that out, Stuart.
Still not as bad as me with names, Johnny, so we'll give you some leeway.
Well, listen, I have to say I did do all of my prep leading into this game, and Beck hadn't played all season, so no excuses though. I need to know that, so all good. Nat Taylor fires a three, in and out. Browning gets the rebound. Kiplocks fires a long two. That swishes, so a stop and a bucket here for Townsville. They're down 15, under 2 minutes left in the first half. Isaac nearly lost it and recovers. Now Leah Scott has it at the top of the key. Gonna reset it here. Scott finds Isaac in the corner. Now swings it to Taylor. Three-pointer is a swish. 18-point lead now for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans.
Yeah, and while we're at it, a big shout out to our man up in Townsville, Paul Foz, checking in on the stream as well, saying, and exactly to your point, Paul, as well, the Townsville Flames do look a little bit flat at the moment, Johnny. There's no aggression. I think it was on the last play we saw when there was a steal just before the timeout. There was no aggression to get back and to try and recover on the fast break opportunity there. So Flames definitely looking a little bit flat, obviously a little bit worn out from the game last night against the North Gold Coast Seahawks. So hopefully they come into the halftime break, just re-energize and get themselves back into the second half.
Good steal from Brennan. Kick ball against the Lady Spartans. So Townsville will maintain possession. 47 seconds to go in the first half. It's an 18-point lead for the Lady Spartans. Kiplocks hands off. Now back out. Cox three-pointer. That's in and out. Offensive rebound to Brennan. Defensive foul called there on Donnelly. It's only the first team foul against the Lady Spartans. The referee's letting them both play, which has been really nice to see.
Yeah, and it's not an indication of the foul count not being fair either, Johnny. I think Spartans have probably had 60 to 70% of the possession this quarter, so it's not really surprising that that was their first foul.
Ball rolled onto the court, so referees had to blow the whistle. 21 seconds on the shot clock for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. About 6.5 second differential between the game and the shot clock. Donnelly hands off for Taylor. Driving baseline, gets free. Goes inside, blocked by Kiplocks. Taylor recovers with 8 on the shot clock. Isaac trying to get to the bucket. She's blocked as well. Leah Scott has it on the baseline. Flips it up, no good, but she gets called for the offensive foul. Good defense there from the captain, Lisa Brennan. There's about 3 seconds to go. Let's see if Townsville can get a decent look off here. Perry goes long for Kiplocks. Takes a few dribbles, has to get a shot off, flips it up. It's well off. And heading into the halftime break, it's a 16-point lead for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans over the Townsville Flames. And it was really that second quarter that separated the two teams, Regan. The Lady Spartans opened up on a 13-0 run, and it's really been all Lady Spartans from there.
Yeah, realistically, it has been. That second quarter was all about the Lady Spartans. We came into the quarter-time break 20-17 in favor of the Lady Spartans. They dropped 22 points that quarter to 9 for Townsville. So there really was a big scoring differential, and the reality is the Lady Spartans just have the legs. Every time they score the ball, they are there defensively, ready to man up on that inbounds pass. They got a couple of quick steals off it, probably put 6 to 8 points on the board from those quick turnovers. And their aggression and their speed of foot on the floor is just much, much better than what Townsville's is at the moment. So obviously showing some signs of wear from their game last night. But hopefully they have a break now and they come back out ready to fire for the second half.
It was a dominant second quarter for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans over the Townsville Flames. They're up by 16. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with some halftime statistics and the second half of action of your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, Australian Sports Network, Stream Team Australia, and, of course, Basketball Queensland. Welcome back to Roland Cowan Stadium here in Carina as the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans lead the Townsville Flames 42-26. New QBL game of the week. Looking at some of the halftime statistics, and it was all Spartans in that first half. They're being led by Leah Scott. She's got 14 points, also has 2 rebounds. But how about Aja Parham Amar, 10 points, 9 rebounds, also has 3 assists. Lee Scott has 3 assists. Spartans shot 43% in that half. 5 of 13 from 3, perfect 3 of 3 from the line. And you look at it, though, 17 field goals made, 12 assists on 17 field goal made. That's pretty good. You look at the steals also. They've got 9 steals, forced 14 Townsville turnovers. And that's pretty much the story of the half there, Regan. You look at it statistically for Townsville, struggled from the field, only had 37% from the field, 1 of 12 from three-point land. And again, those turnovers really hurt. The Lady Spartans forced those 14 turnovers, and they scored 15 points over those 14 turnovers. So Townsville really has to take control of the ball, control it a little better, be a little stronger in possession. And I think they do need to just limit those Spartans' second chance opportunities and really try and recognize the fact that they're going to be under immense pressure at all times when they have possession of the ball. They fell asleep a few times underneath their own basket, leading to really easy Lady Spartans points.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think one of the big things as well is, like you said, they just need to reduce the number of turnovers, and they just need to try and find a way to get back on their feet and overcome the strength of this Lady Spartans team as well. So, look, Townsville, they're not out of it yet. They're close, but they're not 100% out of it yet. If they can come out with some aggression in this third quarter, find a way to stop Aja Parham Amar and Leah Scott, they can still do some damage in this game. They've got the shooting talent out on the floor that they can put some points up relatively quickly. We saw it in the first quarter, 17 points, quite easy. They just need to, put that fire back in their belly. And as our man Foz said up in Townsville, they're slow on foot and they're just not showing that intensity they need to. So it'll be really interesting to see how Townsville comes out in this third quarter. Great stop there to start. So let's see if they put some points on the board now. Yeah, both teams forcing turnovers on their possession. First possession of the half, so. Nearly another turnover. Walsh recovers. Her jump shot's tipped around. Somehow she recovers it. Now Froling has it. Just kicks it out. Cox fires the 3. That's off the front of the rim. Perry chases it down. But then she travels. Took one step too many. Tables turning early in the third quarter. Beck Lewis now starting to get the warnings from the referees as well for just having a little bit too much chatter on the sidelines. Leah Scott gets it on the block, goes to the left, flips one up, tipped out by Perry. Spartans turned it over. Yeah, good defensive strength there from Townsville to start the quarter. It's another stop for Townsville. Let's see if they can get some points in. Froling goes inside, dumps it off for Brennan. Brennan steps through, and she's fouled by Nat Taylor. So Lisa Brennan going to go to the free throw line when referees get the ball back out of the crowd. Pretty good crowd here for a Sunday afternoon. See a few familiar QBL faces in the crowd. See Tommy Amar, Aja Parham Amar's partner. Also Logan Thunder, men's QBL player. See the Logan Thunder women's head coach, Braden Hesselhurst, out there in the crowd. Who else? Referee Mark Mill out there as well. So people coming out to Roland Cowan Stadium to keep an eye out on the QBL action this afternoon. It's great to see. Yeah, I believe we'll be having the pleasure of Mark Mill joining us for the men's game. I'm pretty sure he'll be running it. We see his partner Carrie Mill overrunning the Hypervolt stand over in the bottom corner as well. Good reverse layup there for Parham Amar. 16 points to lead for the Lady Spartans. And active hands from Aja, and then leads to a Lisa Brennan foul. Trying to contest the tipped ball with Odette Isaac. Harry Carey checking in. Lisa Brennan getting a breather.
Brennan's got 3 personals. Alicia Froling also with 3 personal fouls. Leah Scott goes inside for Odette Isaac. Working on the block against Carey. Good defense there. Tipped out of bounds off of Townsville, though. And that's tough, you know, like you work hard, you get a stop. You can't get the rebound, and you know, you just give the Lady Spartans another opportunity at a bucket.
Yeah, those are the kind of stops that they really need to capitalize on as well. You know, you do the great work, so you know, just finish that great work, get the ball, get down the other end, get some points.
And then Aja Parham Amar finishes plus the foul, so she'll go to the free throw line for a 3-point play opportunity. And again, I'm surprised that referee Jackie Dover hasn't done the technical yet. Can see head coach Luke Brennan really unhappy with the call. They did get the warning in the first half, so I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised it didn't lead to the technical. But I like the patience there from referee Jackie Dover having a chat.
Yeah, it's got to be coming close. He's had, like, you know, he's doing it in good spirit, but it's getting to the point where it's a little bit too repetitious and a little bit too often. So he's got to be on the verge, that's for sure.
Walsh drains a 3. Good ball movement there from Townsville. They're down 16, 47-31. That's 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lee Scott at the elbow, working against Froling. Hits it out, Odette Isaac, top of the key 3, hits the side of the rim. Carey grabs the rebound for Townsville. That's a blocking foul. Good call there. It was a very late step for Shauna O'Brien. Don't mind the attempt, but it's definitely about a half a step behind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, it was a really good move, you know, recognizing where the player was going and trying to get across, but you know, it was just that fraction of a second late. So good call there from Porter.
Walsh inbounds to Michaela Cox in the corner. Works off a Froling screen, fires a long 2. That's good. Townsville starting to chip away a little bit here. They're starting to get a few stops.
Yeah,
a little more efficient offensively.
Yeah, starting to string a couple of things together that are working in their favor, which is really good. If they can get a stop here, that'll do really well in their favor as well. But Nat Taylor had a very open 3-point shot, just a little bit too strong. So if Townsville can get this one as well, that'll be a really great turnaround for them and give them some momentum moving forward in this third quarter.
Michaela Cox on the baseline, drains the jumper. Good recognition there from Froling as well, getting that pass out to the captain, Michaela Cox. Excuse me, she's not the captain, but veteran, I should say, as Leah Scott gets one to fall. What a tough bucket there from Leah Scott. Going with the left hand as well, attacking the defense. Goes right at Froling, picks up her 4th.
She can just make anything fall, Leah Scott, from what we've seen in this game. She's shooting from the floor. She's getting knocked into the crowd on the baseline and still finding the bottom of the net. She can hit anything.
Yeah, she's been awesome this afternoon, and the Lady Spartans as a group have been really impressive. I think I like what Townsville's doing here defensively, though. They're really starting to buckle down a little bit on defense and force the Lady Spartans into some tough shots and really making them work for every opportunity. That was a big difference to start this third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they've been doing a really great job defensively to start. Like you said, you know, the second quarter, it was really easy for the Lady Spartans to get points on the board. This quarter, they've had to work for every single one. You know, they've still got the shot percentage working in their favor, but it is making it harder for them to get points, and that's going to wear them down towards the tail end of the fourth.
49-35. Lady Spartans are up. Leah Scott picks up her dribble. Nice pass. And there's Beck Haynes with the baseline jump shot. I've said it before, but that baseline jumper from Beck Haynes is like a layup attempt for most other players.
Yeah.
And there's that turnover from Townsville. Aja Parham Amar finishes on the other end. Leads back out to 18 now. Ainsley Walsh gets one in and out. Odette Isaac from 3 off the side of the rim. Leah Scott loses the ball out of bounds. That was going to be another offensive rebound. It wasn't. Both teams going to the bench for Townsville. Madison McDonald checks in for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans, the captain, Carly Curry, checks in. .440 to go in the third. 18 points the lead here for the Lady Spartans. Good ball movement. Brennan finds Walsh. Walsh puts it on the deck. Now McDonald has it. Looking for a cutting Cox. She turns it over. Just when I must have put the hex on Townsville because just as I said, they started to clean things up. They've gotten really sloppy this last few possessions.
Yeah, they were doing a really, really great job to start out this third quarter, Johnny. You know, they got themselves down to within 12, but then all of a sudden the turnovers have just started creeping in, as have rush shots like that three-point shot there, just hitting the front of the rim. You know, they were doing really great for that first probably 4 minutes of this quarter. But, yeah, now those same things that we noticed in the first half are just creeping back into their game, and the lead's spread back out again now quite significantly, back up to 18 if my math is correct.
Michaela Cox dumps it off. McDonald, little floater short. And then she fouls Aja Paramamar on the rebound attempt. And don't forget, coming up shortly after the conclusion of the women's game, we will have the men's matchup between the Southern District Spartans and the Townsville Heat. Very interesting, but we will have a couple back-to-back champions.
Yeah.
Women's and men's.
Yeah, it'll be another great game. Hopefully.
This has been a good game so far. I thought, Townsville's not allowing the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans to put them away, but they need to be a little more consistent as Scott gets free to lay it in with the left hand.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we're seeing Townsville at their best here today, John. Like, based on what we've seen on their stats and from what we've seen from Huddle and, watching some of the game tape and that, I don't think we're seeing everything that Townsville can deliver in the game here this afternoon. They're obviously tired from the road trip, tired from their game last night. They're still stringing together some really nice offenses, and you can sort of see the foundation of a really strong and talented team. But the execution, the foot speed at the moment, just a little bit of an issue for Townsville and just not able to keep up with what the Lady Spartans are actually delivering.
Walsh gets inside to lay it in. Checking in is Eliza Fabro for Townsville as well. Her team down 18. Give and go. Good ball movement here from the Lady Spartans. Haynes is going to fire a jumper that's off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound. No, it's going to be a foul on Aja Paramamar. Going over the back of Michaela Cox. That's Parmamar's first personal. That's the third team foul for the Lady Spartans with 2:50 to go in the third. Brennan has it, looking inside. Under pressure, Paramamar picks up her second personal, puts the Lady Spartans one foul away from the bonus. Fabro goes inside. Brennan shook free, missed the layup, gets her own rebound, puts that one up and in. Under 2:30 left now in the third. Leah Scott dumps it inside. Great pass and a nice finish there from Rebecca Haynes. We're seeing the full arsenal this afternoon from Leah Scott. Kipbox checks back in for Townsville. It's a pretty young lineup the Flames have out here as Brennan hits a long two. Haynes' jump shot is good. Gotta love that off the ball play there. Cutting weak side as McDonald fires a three. That's off. Haynes grabs the rebound. The Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans are putting on an offensive clinic here. They're up 18.
Yeah, their execution has just been really good all game, Johnny. Like, realistically, they're hard to fault in terms of the way they run their offense. And, like, their shooting percentage has been phenomenal as well. Like, they've just been doing such a great job from the field. They're shooting at 43% from the field, which is 48% from inside and 31% from the three-point line. So, you know, just doing a really great job. They are putting on a clinic, and they're just making it look easy at the moment. So, you know, a bit of a tough position for Flames at the moment to try and get themselves back into this one. But a three-point drop there could work towards it. Just a little bit too strong and didn't get the lucky bounce.
Yeah, not a bad look there for Kiplocks. And we're under a minute left. 59-41. Lady Spartans up by 18. Harmon Marr goes inside. Good ball movement. Leah Scott steps out, fires a three off the back of the rim. Long rebound. And Scott fouls. That's the 15th foul. Going to send Madison McDonald to the free throw line for 2 shots. Checking in for the Lady Spartans for the first time this afternoon, Natasha Elliott. Donald hits one. Second one good as well. 16 points to lead here for the Lady Spartans. Leah Scott kicks it out. Natasha Elliott steps out of bounds, though. It's a good driving kick. Elliott hasn't really gotten much loose yet, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good look and it was a good try. Just, yeah, a little bit of a lack of recognition as where she was standing on the floor, and it wasn't even like she was a little bit out of court on that one, Johnny. Half her foot was out.
She was definitely out of bounds. Here's Cox at half court. Hits the screen from Curry, off of Curry, as Cox goes to the left hand short. Donnelly grabs the rebound. Here's Curry with it, flips it up. Doesn't hit anything, and that's the end of the third quarter. So heading into the final quarter of action, it's a 16-point lead for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans over the Townsville Flames. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some statistics in the final quarter of action. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, Australian Sports Network, and Stream Team Australia. Welcome back to Roland Cowan Stadium here in Carina. As the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans lead the Townsville Flames 59-43, heading into the fourth quarter of action, leading the way. And when we look at the statistics, Townsville struggling from the field, 36% from the field, only 2 3-pointers on the afternoon. They're being led in the points category by Ainsley Walsh and Michaela Cox. They each have 9 points. Courtney Perry's got 6 rebounds. Michaela Cox also has 6 assists. Aja Parmamar has that double-double. She's got 17 points, 12 rebounds. Leah Scott leading all scorers, though, with 18. She's been very, very efficient this afternoon, has Leah Scott. Brennan kicks the ball out of bounds to start the quarter. Getting turnovers, though. Townsville has 19 turnovers. That's led directly to 20 Spartans points, and can almost look at that as the real difference in the game.
Yeah, when the scoring difference is 16, 20 points off turnovers is what's done it, especially when you look down the other end. And, you know, Townsville's only got 4 points off turnovers as well. So, you know, realistically, that does exactly make up the gap. It just goes to show you turn the ball over, you can't protect the pill, you're going to find yourself in a little bit of scoring difficulty.
Townsville gets a stop on the opening possession of the quarter. Let's see if they can get some points on the board. Brennan has her pocket picked. Leah Scott comes up with the steal. Another Euro step, dumps it off for Taylor, who's fouled. She's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Leah Scott went to that Euro step again. Thought that one was going to go up, but really good dish to Nat Taylor. Taylor hits them both. 61-43, the Lady Spartans up by 18 now.
And again, I mentioned it early on, Johnny, like the Spartans girls just have such great recognition for their position on the floor as well, and they are doing such a really great job of drawing fouls on this Townsville team. You know, they've gotten themselves into pretty much 5 fouls apiece every single quarter, and that's purely because they're just such a great team at recognizing where the defenders are and causing that contact to go to the line.
Yeah, Brennan picks up her 4th personal there, and just an amazing effort defensively. I kept my eyes on it the whole time there. Cassandra Donnelly drew that foul on Lisa Brennan, but she's just super active the whole time, engaged with her defender while also engaging the ball at the same time. I mean, that was just textbook defense there, and Donnelly put herself in a good position to draw that foul. It wasn't intentional, but because she's doing everything right, she's in position, the correct position to pick up that foul.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, I'll say it. You know, we've talked a lot about the offense of the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans, but it's really been the defense to me that has separated these two teams. The Lady Spartans are a powerhouse in the competition because of their elite defense. As far as I'm concerned, they've taken away really anything and everything from Townsville today. We saw at the very start of the game, Townsville had a lot of success inside, and we haven't seen much, if any, of that really outside of the first 2 or 3 minutes of this game. Brennan drains the 3.
And, you know, we sort of said that coming out of the game from last night as well, John, where, you know, Townsville Flames versus the North Gold Coast Seahawks and got well and truly outscored in the paint. And, you know, that's not what you would expect. Looking out on the floor, the Flames team is definitely a bigger-sized team. They've got some really tall players out on the floor, got a lot of strength and a lot of muscle, but they just haven't been able to utilize that in the paint purely because, as you said, the elite defense from the Spartans.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the lack of success for Townsville from deep this afternoon has really allowed the Spartans to really pretty much pack the paint and force someone else from Townsville to start hitting some jump shots and scoring consistently from outside, and they haven't been able to do that. As we see, Townsville get inside with Perry, and she gets a layup out of it. So really good transition bucket there from Townsville, and it's been few and far between for them, though, today. And saying that, they're still kind of hanging around here. They're only down 15 with 7:30 left in the game.
And that's it. Like we've said it a couple of times as well, you know, we've seen some really nice foundations of an offense from the Townsville Flames girls. Like, they move the ball around really well. They get good opportunities, and they've been taking some really great shots, but they've been having to take those shots over a very, very tough side, and it makes it hard to execute your offense when you're coming up against a defensive side like that. But, you know, it's one of those things. There's a lot of credit there for the Townsville girls. They've been doing a really great job offensively. They've been moving the ball. They've been looking for those open shots. They're just not having the luck that they need, but that's a couple of points strung in a row there. I think that's 6 unanswered buckets there, 6 unanswered points for the Townsville Flames. So they've cut the deficit down to 13 now, making it a little bit more interesting in this fourth quarter. It could be close in the end, which will be good. It's good to see that their offense is starting to pay off.
Well, the game's certainly far from over, Regan. It is, like you said, a 13-point lead as Taylor fires a three, but three-point shot is the great equalizer, and the Lady Spartans have hit 6 this afternoon as opposed to 3 for Townsville.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the hardest things that the Townsville Flames girls have to overcome is they do a really great job to put 2 stops together, get 3 unanswered buckets, just to have the Southern District Spartans turn around and drain a 3 in their face. It's very, very hard to overcome that.
Yeah, that was a tough miss there for Perry. She missed the layup, got her own rebound, and was fouled on the way up, but you'd like to see her finish that first one there. Perry will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. When we come back, there's a timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. 6:22 to go in this one. Lady Spartans up 16 in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
And back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. It is 66 plays 50. The Southern District Lady Spartans in front with a commanding 16-point lead, but we're at the free throw line now for the Spartans. And first one there is good for Courtney Perry. A second free throw to come. She goes 2 from 2 for the line, closing that gap down. We've said it a couple of times. The Townsville girls have been doing a really great job. They've hung around. And realistically, we would have thought the Southern District Spartans would have put this one away a little while ago, but the Flames are just not going to let them take it that easy, are they, John? They're really just fighting, keeping themselves in this game.
Oh, definitely, and it's going to be whether they can consistently get stops. They're only down 14. There's still 6 minutes to go in this one. They've gotten a little more efficient offensively, but they need to make sure that, first and foremost, they get some stops on the defensive end. As Isaac fires a long 2 off the back of the rim. So there's the stop for Townsville, but turned over. Leah Scott comes up with the steal. Then Leah Scott lays it in, so she creates the steal and then lays it the bucket in. So, Townsville really hurting themselves here this afternoon. Brennan gets inside, goes right to the rim, misses the layup. Offensive rebound by Perry, and she's fouled on the way up. That one goes against Shona O'Brien.
So Perry back at the line for another 2 free throws here. The first is good.
As you said, though, Regan, you can see it's pretty good minutes here for a pretty young Townsville squad. Quite young. You got Browning out there. You've got Fabro. We've seen McDonald out there as well. So some of these youngsters from Townsville getting some pretty good minutes, and they've been a part of this mini comeback, I guess we could call it, for Townsville. They're down 14. And they're doing a pretty good job defensively. They lost Leah Scott, though, inside on that one, and she lays it in.
And that's it. And that's a lot of credit to the Townsville Flames girls as well, Johnny, because realistically, they're not letting Southern District Spartans take this one away from them. They're hanging around, they're staying in it, they're getting the stops when they need to get them, and you know they've kept themselves to 16 points, which realistically is what the deficit ended up blowing out in that second quarter. So they've done a really good job since then to keep that scoreline nice and tight.
Certainly have. Coach Luke Brennan takes the timeout. We'll take one as well. Under 5 minutes left in this one. It's a 16-point lead for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans over the Townsville Flames in your QBL Game of the Week, presented by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at Roland Cowan Stadium. Under 5 minutes left in this one. Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans up by 16. Townsville looking to cut down this deficit here. Froling has it, going at Haynes, flips one up, can't get it to fall. Perry rebound, she's fouled after the offensive rebound. That's gonna put the Lady Spartans into the penalty. It's gonna send Courtney Perry to the free throw line for a couple shots. I thought that was the fifth. I guess not. It must be the fourth.
Yeah, I think that was I only had it down as 3 before that, so I think that one's the fourth, but anything moving forward will be.
Perry gets inside, Froling with the offensive rebound. 3-point shot off. Froling fighting for the rebound. Haynes comes up with it. Good look there for Shaylee Browning, but unable to capitalize. She tips one out of bounds. Aja Parma-Mar is fouled. A blocking foul on Michaela Cox. Her third personal, the Townsville Flames' fourth team foul. Haynes goes backdoor pass for Isaac, who gets called for the charge. Alicia Froling saw that one coming from a mile away. Got herself in great position to draw the foul.
Yeah, Odette Isaac not overly happy with the call, but I'm almost 100% positive that it was correct. Obviously, we're a long way away from where we are, Johnny, but I mean, from a grandstand point of view, it definitely looked like a charge. Defense didn't really do anything wrong, and Isaac just tried to go straight through her.
Ball stripped out of bounds off of O'Brien. So Townsville has it to the side of the Spartans basket with 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Kiplock throws it up. Perry catches, lays it up, and in, plus the foul. Big bucket there for Courtney Perry. She'll have that opportunity for that three-point play, and that's a big one. Townsville down 14. Clock certainly not in their favor, though. We're under 4 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, and back down to 14 points, Johnny. So, again, Townsville just hanging around, just finding their way to stick around this 14-point mark. Chance to take it down to 13 now. If they can get a couple of big stops off the Southern District's Lady Spartans offense, they could get themselves back into single digits, and then we'd really have a game on our hands.
Got to get the stops, though, first. Here's their opportunity on the defensive end. Froling switches out onto Parma-Mar. Haynes, wing three, up and good. Rebecca Haynes with a back-breaking three there, pushing the lead out to 16 again. Carey gets inside. Cox steps into a long two. That's good. It's a good bucket there for Michaela Cox. Leah Scott with Cox defending her. Good Good take there by Scott and a good foul by Michaela Cox. That was going to be tough for her to stop that one. It's the 15th foul, though, on Townsville, so Leah Scott going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots. Scott's been, I think, as impressive as we remember seeing her live for the first time this season.
Yeah, she's been amazing, and, you know, she's on 24, well, now 25 and 26 points if she makes these shots. And she's shooting an incredibly high percentage as well, so it's not just like she scored a lot of points. You know, she scored 25 off 12 and 18 shooting from the field for a 66%. And she's got 6 assists and 6 steals as well. So just some truly amazing statistics coming out of her game. So she's really a strong player for this Southern Districts Lady Spartans team.
I think we're approaching triple-double time as Perry gets another one to fall plus the foul. Good finish there from Perry.
13-point game with a chance to come down to 12. So slowly cutting away at this deficit is the Townsville Flames. Let me just check out how many free throws this will be for Perry. She seems to have gone to the free throw quite a few times. This will be her 7th and 8th attempt. She's 100% at the moment as well.
Just the one free throw she finished, yep. Hit him, so she's perfect from the free throw line. It's a 12-point lead, so Townsville's not going anywhere, but like we keep saying, Regan, they got to string together some stops here.
Yeah, this is a very important passage of play here, and they pull it off as well. Great steal there from, I think it was Froling.
Great job there by Froling. Carey steps into a three. That's in and out, tipped around. Goes out of bounds off of Townsville. So that would have been huge there, getting the steal plus a three-pointer. They still have to get a few more stops here. 2:29 left, 12 points the lead for the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, if they can do that again, they'll find themselves in a
steal,
commanding
though,
position.
and Cox lays it in. And Coach Rebecca Lewis is forced to take a timeout. We're going to take one as well. It's a 10-point game with 2:25 left in this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back shortly for the exciting conclusion. The QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at Roland Cowan Stadium. 10 points the lead for the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. The Townsville Flames have gotten themselves back into this one. Here come some full court pressure. Taylor gets it. And now the Lady Spartans going to work some clock here. Neil got the steal on that pressure, though.
Yeah, it's down to crunch time, and the Flames are really sort of delivering on that crunch time as well. They've had a couple of big steals at crucial moments, and they're working their butts off defensively here as well, forcing Leah Scott to go out of bounds. So another all-important big stop there from the Flames.
There's that turnover. Referee Jackie Dower having a chat with Alicia Froling and Leah Scott, just telling them to settle down. There was a little bit of contact after the play. I don't think any of it was intentional, but the Townsville Flames defense forcing the turnover. They must get a bucket here, though, Regan.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. If they don't get the points here, they're going to find themselves in a little bit of trouble, but good offensive movement so far. They just need to try and find the net.
Cox has it on the wing, driving baseline. Kicks it out. Carey fires a three. It's up off the back of the rim. Perry offensive rebound out to Kiplock. She fires a three. It's short. Alicia Froling tips it. O'Brien comes down with it. And there's a foul there. That's got to be a foul on Courtney Perry. trying to tie up Aubry, but a little too overly aggressive on that one.
I didn't have the best angle on that either. I'm not too sure why Froling decided to tip that rebound. It looked like she was in a pretty good position to just get her hands on it and pull it down, you know. I didn't have a great view, John. You probably got a better look at it than me, but pull it down. I'm not a big fan of the tip rebound. You never know where it's going to go, and this is the perfect example. It did not favor the Flames.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. She clearly had her hand on the ball. You know, there wasn't no one else really in sight. I think she saw one of her teammates behind her, but then Aubry kind of closed that gap, so I think she was probably looking for a quick tap to get a nice three-pointer up. Bit of contact on the rebound. Not sure what happened there. Timeout taken, though. Let's keep it here, Regan. 1:40 left. It's a bit unfortunate, but I am going to say it. I do think it's too little too late here for Townsville. I think, you know, they've done themselves proud by fighting and getting it to within, 12, 10 points. But the intensity hasn't been there all afternoon. I thought they were sloppy with the ball. Obviously, the turnovers, like we keep saying, has really hurt them. But I think, there's some really good takeaways for Townsville from this game to be able to get themselves back into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I've said it a couple of times throughout the stream, Johnny. It's like I don't think we've seen the best game from the Flames here. Like they are capable of so much more than what they're delivering in. We've heard it on a couple of different people's comments as well. They're just a little bit flat. They're a little bit slow-footed at the moment. But they've put together some really great offenses. They just haven't had the success in terms of actually converting those offenses into points.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that comes down to, as we've said, the elite defense coming out of the Southern District Spartans. So a lot of really good takeaways from the Townsville Flames. And, look, I think it is a little bit too late now. 12 points down, 1:40 to go. They're going to find it hard to get themselves back in this one. But there's a lot of positives to take away from the game and the way that they've played here this afternoon.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you that Coach Beck Lewis probably not happy with her team, that they have allowed Townsville to get back into it. So it's not put a damper. I guess that's probably not the right term, but I think it's probably spoiled the great performance from the Spartans here a bit, where they have allowed Townsville to get back into it. But let's not take away from the performance of the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. They've been awesome today, and I think on both sides of the floor. Defensively, they were very, very strong. Offensively, I think they were super efficient and got great contributions from everyone. And that's always been the strength of this group, is that they're a strong group and they can all step up when needed. As Amar fires it, beats the buzzer but can't get it to fall.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. Like, realistically, the Spartans have come away with a 90% game here. They've played really, really well across the board. There's just a couple of things that they need to look at in terms of just putting the game away in that last quarter and, the energy they've exerted in the third and fourth quarters here. Because realistically, they should have racked up probably a slightly bigger lead than what they've got at the moment. They let Townsville hang around. They put themselves in a bit of a scary position where it looked like the Flames were going to get back into it and take the win away from them. So, look, a couple of little things they need to go back to the tape and look at. But overall, again, definitely can't take away from the win that the girls have had out on the floor as well, because they have really been an outstanding team from the get-go.
And they're going to remain undefeated on the season. They'll move to 7-0, hold on to that first place spot as Leah Scott gets another layup to drop. And that'll pretty much do it from here. The clock will run out. Let's see if Townsville can get another one on the board. Cox kicks it over to Carey in the corner. Three is up. No good. It's long. Leah Scott with the rebound. She'll let the clock run out. And that's going to do it for you as the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans win 78-64 over the Townsville Flames in a rematch of last year's Grand Final Series. Like we said again, it's a true team effort when you watch the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. They get contributions from everyone. When we look at the final tally, Leah Scott leads all scorers with 27 points. I thought she would have had more rebounds than what they have her here for. I don't have the full box score yet, but 27 points, great effort. Aja Amar, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. I gotta pull up this full box score. Hold on for me, because I want to see how far off Aja was from a triple-double. I thought she had more than 3 steals also, but we won't get at the stats people for that one. But super efficient effort from the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans, finishing at 43% from the field, 30% from three. I guess only getting to the free throw line 11 times, hitting on 9 of those. They did have 25 assists on 31 field goals, and that just goes to show you the type of team basketball that they play and why they do get those contributions from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you couldn't say it any better, Johnny. Like, realistically, it is just such a great team effort from the Southern District's Lady Spartans. And, you know, we've seen it over the last 2 years as they've had their championship teams. And it's exactly the same culture in the team that's out there today. They really are a selfless team. They know where their strengths are, and they play to their strengths. You know, 25 assists in a game of basketball is a really, really great job. So they do a very nice job of passing the ball around, sharing with their teammates. And, look, Leah Scott is one of the best players in the QBL, and, you know, we're only in round, 6 this week. You know, I'm already putting her in the ring for, you know, our all-time QBL top 5 for 2019 season, because she is just dominating week in, week out, averaging 26 points per game coming into it, scored 27 here tonight, and she's just across the board a really fantastic player. And Aja Amar has come out as well and just shot an amazing game, as has Nat Taylor.
Yeah, and the Townsville Flames had those turnover issues, 23 turnovers leading directly to 26 points for the Spartans. Let's take a quick look at the Flames scoring, led by Courtney Perry. She had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 8 of them offensive, which I thought she was really impressive also. Michaela Cox finishes with 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and then the captain, Lisa Brennan, finishing with 13 points and 3 rebounds. But Townsville did struggle, 36% from the field, only 3 threes, hit 12% from deep. On a positive, they went to the free throw line 11 times and hit all 11, and they had 17 offensive rebounds. So, as we said, some positives to take away for Townsville, but overall, a dominant performance from the Carina Leagues Club Lady Spartans. That's going to pretty much do it for us here. I got to thank everyone as usual. Got to thank Chris Sieber on the camera all the way down in the middle of the pen over there for us. I got to thank Regan Baker as well on the commentary, and of course James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network for all of the graphics and all of their technical support, not only tonight, but during the preseason, all the way during the season and the offseason as well. I'm John Guarna. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And don't forget, we will have the men's game coming up for you shortly. Another QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, Australian Sports Network, and Stream Team Australia. We'll see you again shortly.